What a crazy year. Besides the obvious, right? The pandemic that we're in, we're getting Ryzen CPUs inside of laptops that are far better than I think many out there were even considering. So much so that I think it caught Intel off guard. These things are great, giving us great battery life, a little bit cooler to the touch, laptops a bit quieter. This is awesome. We've got Apple's own silicon, their ARM-based solutions, which honestly, in the grand scheme of everything for 2020 tech related, is actually what I am the most excited for, because it puts the nail in the coffin on Intel for Apple, and now they can make and give us great solutions from their own in-house products. And I use iPhones, right? So I already dig their product from a performance standpoint, and now they can give us perhaps MacBook Pros using their own ARM-based silicon that's going to give us awesome thermal performance, quiet acoustics, and just ultimate performance, to the metal with their software. And none of that is probably going to matter to the community that I have developed on Bob of All Trades, and neither will this, based on the thumbnail, the Xbox Series S. At $299, we're talking like a guaranteed 1080p 60 FPS console. The console that I would have wanted 7 years ago. The console that, if existed 7 years ago, my channel would look a lot different today. Make no mistake, I am a gamer first, and while that may be less evident now, even from my own eyes, as I spend a lot of time editing videos, working at my main job that's not YouTube related, as well as trying to help my kids go through the non-traditional instruction throughout this time of COVID-19, hoping that we can get them through school, at least some sort of decent education as elementary students. Very difficult as a parent. I have to do this 3 days a week. My wife has to do this too. It's been very challenging, and for me to look you in the eye right now and say that I am a gamer first, at heart, I honestly mean that, but the reality of it is my time is spent doing other things, is what I'm trying to say. But it's not going to stop me from falling in love with the Series S at $299. This is the right console at the right time. And I want to talk about this because lately I've been getting a lot of questions on the channel that'll look something like this. Bob, the new consoles are coming out. They seem to be priced pretty good. What are your thoughts on going that route and then maybe getting like a MacBook Air or a Chromebook or some sort of simple laptop to get them through their workday, and then they can game on the console? If you're asking me that question, then that's probably the answer that you're looking for. Do that. Go for it. Look, gaming laptops are a one-stop shop, multi-purpose solution that have some pros and they have their cons, right? That's just the nature of the beast. And while we want these machines to give us just the jack of all trades and perhaps master of all, we're just not there yet. We want them to be, but they're not. And there's nothing wrong with being a gamer on a Nintendo Switch, on an Xbox, on a PlayStation, right? Who says you have to be a gamer at all? But ultimately, just do what suits you. I have people all the time comment. They say, RTX 3000 looks great. It's not looking too promising on laptops. I'll just build a desktop. Whoa. Okay. For gaming, if you don't need what this has to offer, which is portability first, that should honestly be the number one thought in your head. If you want an all-in-one gaming laptop solution, is that you require that level of portability, and then perhaps just having a clean desktop environment being number two. But that number two is way back on the list. Just portability number one. If you want a gaming experience at its finest and you don't have to consider portability, then build a desktop. Not once have I ever stated on the channel that laptops are the way to go. They are just a way to go, but not the way to go. And I love featuring them. I appreciate their challenges. I live the laptop life. Do you see a desktop here? You never will. It doesn't exist. We've got the RP17 in the background and this Aero 15 OLED here. I use laptops. This works for me, but I'm not gonna lie. An Xbox Series S at $299, all digital, half a terabyte NVMe, 4 teraflops, giving us that 1080p 60 FPS console experience that I have been craving since 2013. And I think that is really awesome. And I think it's going to be a hot buy. I really do. Now, do I think the Series X is a better value at $200 more? Absolutely. We're going to double the storage. We're going to get 3 times the graphical performance, pulling up to 12 teraflops. We're looking at 4K, 60 FPS. I'm not even including the possibility of their claimed 8K and possibility of their, dynamic this and dynamic that and potential 120 FPS. Let's just count on 4K 60 FPS on the Series X, the black box, right? And then on the Series S, a 1080p 60 FPS experience. And for the money, I think that's really good. And you don't even have to be an Xbox fan to appreciate that. If you're a Sony pony, and which you have every right to be, like they're exclusives, they're first party stuff, even though they're rumored to be coming to PC, which I honestly think is a mistake on Sony's standpoint. I think that's a great solution too, but man, $299 for the Series S. You can even do these financing options, right? $25 a month for 2 years will get you the console and their Ultimate Game Pass bundle. I'm sorry, but as a gamer first, as a young man up here, I think that is pretty awesome. And I don't mean to shoot myself in the foot here, because I'm always going to love laptops and will continue on reviewing them until I'm blue in the face. But there's something to be had about this, and these are very interesting times. 2020 is a funky year on its own, and the fact that we are now just light at the end of the tunnel here, 2 months from now, we can get our hands on these new consoles, which may make something like this less relevant to some. That's not going to make it less relevant to me. Am I going to pick up a Series S? I'll tell you what, I shouldn't. I have no right to do so. I'm hardly going to have any time to play on it. I am so obligated on other ends of the spectrum throughout my life. But selfishly, I want to. I feel like it deserves my money because it was such a good price point. Again, even though I think the X for $200 more is a better value, we can go down the value pipeline and talk that all day long. But I just can't help myself. A console that's like this big, I mean, you saw the pictures of it. It's like the size of 2.5 controllers. I mean, it's small. This is a small console, and I think this is so awesome at $299. And I think that our beloved laptop manufacturers should kind of pay attention to that a little bit, Last year, the Helios 300 with the 1660 Ti that would go on sale for $1,000. I'll bet you that laptop as a gaming laptop probably sold more than anything else. It had to have. It was the talk. It was the pedestal. It was the benchmark. And I feel like right now, especially in the next couple of months, a lot of people are going to be comparing what this has to offer versus just getting themselves a basic, laptop with an APU that will do work and have good battery life, and a console. And this may not fit the bill for you, and it may not fit the bill for me, but it's going to be a talking point that we are going to have to accept and embrace in the comment section amongst many channels, tech forums, you name it. This is a fun time to be a gamer. But Microsoft, I think you hit a home run with the Series S, and I think your X is only going to be as good as the content that you bring out to that platform. And I think the PlayStation 5 is still going to beat you in that regard. But if you wanted to hit a grand slam, imagine this. Give us that Series S with Windows 10 and then sell that as a small form factor PC. You could even add $100 to the price. For $399 with Windows 10 on that console, you couldn't keep them off the shelves. I'm just saying. All right, folks, that's going to do it. I'm Bob of All Trades. Hopefully you enjoyed this fun little rant talk that I wanted to get off my chest about the next generation consoles looking sweet. I'll see you in the next video.